In today's video, I'm giving you my wish list for the Fujifilm X-T6. What's up, everyone? My name is Pete. I'm a portrait photographer based in New York, and thank you as always for joining me. If this is your first time checking out my videos, do me a big favor. Go ahead and subscribe, like, leave me a comment, do all that good stuff if you like this video. Now, I know the question you're asking, did Fuji announce an X-T6? No, they have not said anything to my knowledge about an X-T6. However, the X-T5's been around a while now, and you know it's only a matter of time before they announce an X-T6, and I just wanted to put it out there what I would like to see in this new camera in case anybody from Fujifilm is going to watch this video and cares at all. So, without further ado, let me give you the top things that I would love to see in the new X-T6. Number one is a better EVF. So the EVF in the X-T5, if you don't know, it's okay. I've never really felt like it's hindered me as a photographer. However, it's not great. It's not the highest resolution. It can get a little like, you know, digitally looking and kind of jump around a little bit. So I think that the first thing I'd love to see in the X-T6 is a better EVF like the one in the XH2 series cameras, because that's a lot better than this one. So give us a better EVF and everyone will love you for it. Number two, bring back the grip, Fujifilm. Come on, man. I mean, now, when I first heard they weren't going to have a grip for the X-T5, I was in the camp that was like, nah, who cares? It's not that big a deal. However, after using the camera professionally, you know, for 3 years now, there are times where I would love to have a grip. Not all the time. I usually don't like vertical grips because I feel like they're cumbersome and annoying, and I don't like carrying around more weight than I need to. But if you're using a big lens, or if you need that extra battery power and you don't want to change batteries in the middle of a shoot, or if you just want the camera to be a little bit larger and more easy to handhold, which I know many of you do. I'm not that tall, so I don't need that. I don't have a huge hand. But for those reasons, we would love you to bring back that grip. Bring it back. And I understand part of the reasoning seems that they took the grip away is because they were placing the XH2 series into that, you know, professional line, and maybe the X-T5 somewhere right underneath it. However, many of us are using this professionally, Fujifilm, and we love the camera. We love what it's done for us, but we would love a grip and a better EVF. Okay, what else? Fuji, you got to make these dials firmer again like they were on the X-T4. So these mode dials are better than the older cameras. Well, no, let me not say that because it depends on the camera. But some of the cameras I've used, they're more firm than some of the older ones. They're not as firm as the X-T4. And so you can accidentally knock these dials around. Like sometimes you'll just be in HDR with your mode dial here and you didn't realize it. Sometimes you're not so much for me the exposure compensation dial, but sometimes that, and sometimes the ISO dial will just move. There's no reason for that. Just firm up those buttons. Now, they did firm up the front and rear control dial here, you know, and that has been great because on the X-T4, those were really floppy. And they would like, you had to like delicately change it. And then because you would press it by accident. So those are great. However, those top dials, they're definitely better than some of the like way older cameras that I've used. And again, I haven't used them all. So if you have one that was better, that's your lived experience, my friend. And I have no judgment there. However, they could be firmed up a little bit more. If they're okay, they could be better. And then while we're on the topic of that, just give us back our build quality, because the thing that people really freaked out about when this camera came out, one of the things they didn't like is it feels cheap compared to the X-T4 and then the X-T3. I never felt like it felt cheap, but it definitely doesn't have that heftiness that my X-T4 has. And then the finish gets scratched a lot easier too. So let's come back on. Let's dial it back on that. You know, like lighter, smaller photography first, and give us a better build quality. Okay, what else? Here's what I don't want, and it's not that I don't want it, but it's that I don't need it. I don't need any more megapixels. So it would be great to have a faster processor, right? But I don't think they need to get a more than the 40 megapixel sensor. For me, those 40 megapixels have been really the sweet spot because I get a ton of detail, which I love, especially for my portrait shoots when I'm in my studio. And I've had very little trouble with excessive noise that I know some people have had or have complained about. So for whatever reason, for me, I haven't had issues with noise. The camera, when I shoot, because I'll use this a lot for low light indoor concert photography, and I never once was like, wow, this noise is way, way worse than the X-T4. Although some of you in the comments have told me that when you're using a really high ISO, that it's definitely, you can see a difference there. I try to keep my ISO 3200 or below as much as humanly possible, and that's why I'll use as fast a lens as I can, and I prefer fast primes for that reason when I do my concert photography, because I'm never using a flash or any kind of light outside of just the ambient or the stage light. So I use fast primes, I move my feet, and that's how I do it, and I've had no issue there. So I don't think we need more megapixels. Faster processing, faster saving, even if that entails a CF Express card, that would be fine for me. I know some people don't like the CF Express card because now you're dealing with two medias, but if it's a lot faster, I think it's worth that trade-off, even though the cards are a little expensive, because that thing can really, really process information fast. So I don't want a new sensor, maybe just a better version of what's already there. And this is spoken from someone who has absolutely no technical knowledge about how sensors work. So take that for what it's worth. Okay, what else? Well, the last thing that I'm going to talk about, of course, we want better autofocus. However, this is such a delicate issue, but I feel like we're kind of beyond the autofocus craze of 2024, the hive mind freak out that happened. I would still like better autofocus. I think this is something that you're never going to get to a point where you're like, okay, the autofocus is perfect, like anything, but there's definitely room for improvement there. And again, I harp on this all the time, but I think part of it is the interface, the way that the autofocus system works can be improved. If you streamline the way that you choose focusing points and that you are able to do stuff, and if you just get a face detect with eye detect that just is super sticky and that you don't have to play with constantly, people are going to be thrilled. Fujifilm, they will be thrilled beyond belief. All right, well, those are the main things I can think of. I'm sure that watching this video, you're thinking of things that you'd love to see in the X-T6 whenever that comes out. So please go ahead and comment below. Let me know what you think about what you'd love to see in the newer camera. And I'd love to hear what you think as well. Couple other things, if you're looking for an X-T5 or any other kind of gear, I'd appreciate if you use any of my links in the description below. It helps me out, and you don't have to pay a dime more for doing that. And one other thing that I'm always remiss to mention that I'm going to throw in, I run a portrait community, and it's called the Portrait Community. And this is for those of you who want to really take your headshot game and your portrait game to a professional level. It's a small group. It's very tight-knit. We meet weekly on Zoom. We have challenges. We have a private forum where you can post work for critique, and you can get to work with me pretty much hands-on, and it's a lot of fun. So if you're looking to up your photography, check that out. The link is below. And as always, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate you all. I love doing this, and everyone who subscribes, thank you, because you help me to be able to do more of these videos. So here's wishing you an awesome day. Go out and take some great pictures. I will see you in the next one. Peace.